My name is Greg Namacher. I'm the president of SEIU Local 26, and this is this week's video update about what is happening at Local 26 and a chance to meet some of our new leadership here at the local. Since we were elected back in December, our number one priority has been to push at the level of the companies, at the level of the city, at the level of the state, and at the national level for paid quarantine time, because this has been one of the key issues that our members have needed around COVID and the pandemic. This week, we have had new legislation introduced at the state level around a paid quarantine that would give back pay all the way to March of last year and full pay for folks who stayed at home during quarantine. We have also begun to push at the city level for an essential workers council that is a way for workers' voices to be heard and to push the city for the same kind of paid quarantine. And at the national level, Biden and his administration's new set of proposals around COVID, they have said that they will be pushing at Congress for paid quarantine leave. So this continues to be our number one priority. Now we'd like to hear a little bit more from some of the new leadership at Local 26. One of them is Dan Scoggins, elected from the security sector to the executive board. Dan, can you introduce yourself?
I've been a security officer, security account manager in the security field for 30 years. And I'm currently an American security employee at Target.
So Dan, you were just recently elected to the executive board as a security delegate. And can you tell us a little bit, what are you most proud about as being a part of SEIU Local 26?
So it's a long list of things I would really be proud of because I'm so grateful to be involved in the union and helping people. But most recently, I attended a workers' council meeting, the first workers' council meeting on Saturday. It's a group of unions and other worker groups that is going to speak on behalf of workers to balance out the downtown councils, the BOMAs, the business groups, so workers have a voice in the downtown area. I'm really proud of that.
Great. And what is some of your vision for Local 26? Now that you're a part of the leadership team, what is your vision about how we need to improve our union?
Well, first, I'm glad we're focusing on the internal organizing part because that's where my heart really is taking care of members. But after that, I love the ideas of nonprofit connections and partnerships and other ways to serve our members with affordable housing or other similar things. And I just have tremendous drive and vision to see all the cool stuff we can do with an open mind and to leverage our opportunities to help our members.
Well, let's hear a little bit about from Dan's testimony to the City Council in Minneapolis pushing for COVID protections and the first Essential Workers Council.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, Mr. Chairman and council members, I've been a security officer or manager of security for 30 years, all of this in downtown Minneapolis or St. Paul. Currently, I'm a union steward for SEIU Local 26. It's in that capacity I came to speak to you today. Security officers and janitors are essential workers. We have been working all through the pandemic. We have about 6,000 janitors and 2,000 security officers in the Twin Cities, representing every race, religion, and background of our city. Since we are working, many of our members or family members have been ill from COVID. When COVID strikes our families, we have the double burden of managing the illness and our family members being put out of work on quarantine. I'm an example. Twice this year I've been out of work due to sick family members. I missed 10 days in July when my wife was sick and 10 days in December when my daughter was sick. It's used all the vacation and sick time I had, and my wife was also out in July as well. SEIU Local 26 has been granting $300 to each member from our strike fund to help members who are out due to COVID illness. We've given 742 members $300 grants. That's $222,000 of our strike fund. We've also sadly seen 4 of our members die from COVID. We also know that because of longstanding disparities in our city and state, this virus has hit and hurt the communities of color especially hard. The 6 days provided by the emergency safety and sick time ordinances are not enough. We need to add more time for COVID-related illnesses. Now, I'm a 10-year employee. I have had some vacation time in Minneapolis safe and sick time. But if it came between paying your rent or feeding your family, will essential workers always tell the truth and be quarantined? These are ethical questions that rich people argue about. My working class brothers and sisters don't have the luxury of ethics. We live paycheck to paycheck. If we want people to keep each other safe, we need to be paid when we're quarantined by our employers. I attended the most recent Workers' Council meeting, which had representatives of various working groups and unions. We discussed the following COVID safety issues: an emergency extension of the safe and sick time for 2 more weeks for COVID, right to recall to your old job after layoff, right to stay home if you're not safe at work, right to refuse unsafe work, strong enforcement of the current safety expectations, and maybe reimbursement from employers for the cost of the mandatory PPE we're all paying for. This council is also proposing their own downtown workers' council, as I understand it. So in order for Minneapolis to reopen safely, we need the voices of workers telling their stories. We need the input of those still working downtown. I'm glad the City Council is starting the process to engage with those downtown workers to hear from our experience, not just our bosses and huge corporations, so the city can safely reopen. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dan. And that was very powerful testimony to the City Council. As a result of that testimony, the City Council passed the creation of the Essential Workers Council in Minneapolis, which will now work over the next few months to give recommendations to the City Council. Our next part of our leadership here at SEIU Local 26 is Kay. Kay is a part of our top leadership team, our vice president here at Local 26. Kay, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Kay Brown, as Greg said, and I am vice president with the union. I've been with the union, I'm gonna say, well, I've been in the union for about 12 years now, and I've been locally with the union for about 8, because the first few years we were with a non-union shop. And I'm currently working at the Normandale Lake Office Park in Bloomington, the union steward at that location. And prior to becoming associated with the union, I ran my own electronic manufacturing company for about 10 and a half years. And looking forward to sharing some of that experience with the local union. I'm really excited about the opportunity to work directly with Greg and Brahim, especially during the campaign, which was an interesting situation for it in itself. So I'm excited about that, and looking forward to meeting any and everybody that I can. Hopefully I can talk with you and share some experiences, and look forward to working with you.
Great. And Kay, say a little bit about what is your vision about some things that we could change and improve or do differently in our union in the upcoming years to really make it even more powerful?
Okay, actually, the vision that Greg and Brahim and our team put together for the union is, I'm excited about that. But some of the things that I'm looking forward to working with the union is trying to share some of the opportunities that we can kind of help become more efficient, starting businesses within the union, and kind of growing it from there.
Great. So given an opportunity for training and for members who are interested in starting their own businesses or cooperatives to put together some of the skills needed to be able to do that work, and bring in your incredible background to that, I'm very excited about that as well, Kay. So thank you. We're excited about you as a part of our leadership team. Well, folks,
Thank you.
that's our update for this week from the union. And we think it is just extremely important that everybody stays safe, wear your masks, and we continue to fight to try and get Local 26 members at the front of the line for vaccines. We had just had a first conversation last week with the Lieutenant Governor, and are pushing to have a date set where members can speak to the Lieutenant Governor and the Governor about the importance of getting access to those vaccines quickly. So stay in touch, and we'll talk soon.